you have probably a dozen retirement homes or nursing homes.
Without a doubt, yes.
In the Southpark area, you have a very high concentration of some of these retirement and nursing homes and folks who might be predisposed to some breathing problems. So this is going to, what you see right now is the current scene. But make no mistake about it, folks. All around here, in a 2 or 3 mile radius, you have facilities that are concerned about this and concerned about the smoke.
I think one of the things not to be concerned about, the flames have been more or less contained. So there's no flames near those retirement communities. It is the amount of smoke, obviously, but staying inside is the safe thing to do. I'm sure that they would encourage them to do that, to stay inside. And obviously, traffic is a major problem in that area, Chris.
Yeah, I was just going to say, kind of treat this like it was a code orange in an elevator at that point where it's unhealthy for sensitive groups. It's really unhealthy for everyone right now because the atmosphere is completely clouded up with everything, and it's an absolute gridlock around this area. So there's really nothing that you absolutely need to do in this area at this point because businesses are going to be shut down close to because they have to make sure everything's contained. Because we mentioned it was a massive fire earlier, seeing some of these flames, but things are improving, but still the amount of smoke that's being produced is exceptional.
Charlotte Fire tweeting out that they're setting up a staging area at Barclay Downs and Fairview Road. They're going to have a press conference at some point. You know, they got to make sure that everything else is safe, but they're actively trying to update the media. Larry, it strikes me that you talk about a fire in a high-rise in Southpark. That was not even a possibility a few years ago.
Not at all.
This was several years ago, cow pastures.
Yes. Go back about 40 years ago, without a doubt.
A few decades ago, it became a place for retail in Southpark. But high-rise is really only in the last couple of decade or so that you actually ended up having high-rises there in Southpark.
The highest building in that area was the mall. That was it.
Before
and now,
that.
yes, with the massive businesses that are out there, the high-rises, certainly a different situation. If you drive in that area, you are impressed with the number of buildings that are there, the houses, the condominiums, they're all grouped together with thousands of people making a small town.
So where now Southpark has its own small little skyline.
Without a doubt, yes.
You know?
And what we're looking at from some of our cameras right there, you can see some of the firefighters, some of the emergency people right there. They've evacuated, obviously, the area where the fire was. All those workers got out. One thing I want to say this about a generator. That may have been the culprit in this situation. A generator is fueled by obviously gasoline. So that would account for the initial burst of flames that spread rapidly through the framework, the wooden framework of a brand new apartment slash condominium that's being constructed right there in the Barclay Downs area. Over there, as you can see, some of the firefighters up there on the ladder. The flames are being actually contained in that direction. So we've had a massive turnout from the Charlotte Fire Department. At least now this is my history in Charlotte. A 5-alarm fire is so rare.
It doesn't happen.
I cannot remember the last time that we talked about a 5-alarm fire.
It doesn't happen. I can't think of one in recent memory.
Not in recent history at all. So that's a massive fire that's it literally has affected thousands of people's lives, those who work and live there. This
shot gives you a good idea of where you do have some densely populated and constructed buildings, and I think it's going to be interesting to see once some of the flames die down and the smoke goes away, whether some other buildings nearby were damaged. Because I have this photo that you have on your TV screen. I also have a photo I've got pulled up on my laptop where you can see the building itself, but you can also see nearby buildings also under construction that look to be damaged as well. So folks, it could very well be that when this is all said and done, hours from now, that you not just have one building, but you actually end up having a few other buildings damaged in this.
I think if we're looking at one of those buildings, may have been a parking deck that's very close to the actual apartment. So yes, you're right about that, Ben. Damage will be multiple buildings damaged in this situation.
And the video that we just played was actually tweeted out, well, right before, from Charlotte Fire Department, showing what they were fighting, those flames and the 7700 block of Liberty Row. And, you know, our heart just goes out to those firefighters and all the work that they do for our community. I've even seen some of the wives of firefighters posting online saying that as they headed here, I mean, it has been a long time since they have seen a fire this
Well,
massive.
a five-alarm fire, I mean, we were talking about this a moment ago. Quite honestly, I can't remember the last time in Charlotte a five-alarm fire. That's the kind you see in multiple buildings, you know, sometimes in uptown areas.
We've got Braxton Winston actually standing by there at the scene. Well, we had him, a video of him, the mayor pro tem of Charlotte, responding there on the phone, I assume speaking to people he knows. I'm not sure if we still have that, but that gives you an idea of all sorts of local leaders